The government spokesperson and the president's press secretary have slammed recent statements made in the press by the former vice president Dr. Gilbert Bukenya. Bukenya has indicated in his latest book called In the Corridors of Power that the office of the vice president is ceremonial and that he was removed from office without any official statement from the president. Ofwono, Opondo and Tamale Mirundi argue that the former vice president could be seeking sympathy and running away from crimes against the state that he committed when he was still in office. Maurice Ochol has that report.
Spokesperson Ofwono Opondo says that following his removal from office in 2011, Professor Gilbert Bukenya has never shown any gratitude to the president for allowing him to serve in the high office for over 8 years.
When he was enjoying the benefits, how come he didn't say that office was empty? All of us saw how Bukenya was copying and mimicking the president. He had all the paraphernalia.
Ofwono Opondo does not agree with Bukenya, noting that the president has powers to appoint and to dismiss officials at his discretion.
The president does not owe him any explanation as to why he dropped him. The president is only required to give an explanation to the country through parliament.
Tamale Mirundi, the press secretary to the president, on the other hand, argues that Bukenya could have committed some crimes and is now trying to insulate himself.
Bukenya might have committed the crimes during his tenure, and he knows that the accountability is now high on the agenda, and many people believe that once you become antagonistic to government, even if you committed a crime, you can go away with it. You remember the Chogamu investigations.
In his book, Bukenya has written about how he was unceremoniously dropped from the cabinet and how the office is an empty shell.
Bukenya is vice president, the flags are good blowing. When it comes to discussing the nitty-gritties, he is nowhere to be seen.
Tamale Mirundi adds that Bukenya could be politically naive and has no knowledge of the different roles of a vice president.
What is entitled to Bukenya in the constitution as the vice president that he did not get? The only problem Bukenya's problem is that he doesn't know the categories of vice president. That the vice president for continuity. Bukenya did not appear on Museveni's ballot, on the presidential ballot. He was picked as an assistant.
Even then, Ofwono Opondo argues that Bukenya did many government jobs.
He would speak for the government on the floor of parliament. He would chair cabinet.
Tamale Mirundi also asserts that as NRM's chairman for Wakiso in Buganda, Bukenya's public show defiance, for example in Luwero when he supported the opposition's candidate, is a bad example to the younger members of the party.
If you have an indisciplined party, you will have an indisciplined government. Because somebody will question, why did you suffer for me? Yes, this is not a coalition government.
According to the two NRM officials, Bukenya is not a threat at the moment and does not wield any political force.
The government and NRM should really leave that rope to him. At the end of the rope, Professor Bukenya should tie a knot and hang himself. We don't really intend to bother so much. Bukenya's comments and actions should be the least of our worries.
But Bukenya is not an important issue in Uganda's politics. A former vice president who does not appear in any opinion poll.
And though the officials think little of Bukenya, he still stands his grounds on running for the highest office in the land against President Museveni in 2016. Maurice Ochol, NTV.